What's up? It's Pastor J Wade too. I'm here with the third edition of Late Night Revelation. Now, before we get started, I promise you I'm not gonna take more than 25 minutes tonight. I just wanna I wouldn't say clarify a few things because there has been no questions or anything like that. But I want to assure you of my methods and my motive for doing what I do. I'm not doing it for likes. I'm not doing it to grow a page. I'm not doing it to become world famous or renowned. I'm not trying to um, get a whole bunch of followers or anything like that. Um, and I'm not doing it for my own gratification. I'm not doing it for my own edification. I'm doing it because it's what I've been led to do. It's what God is telling me to do. And I'm saying what God is telling me to say. So I know you've seen a heightened presence of mine on social media, and it's not because of anything vain. It's all for the glory of God. It's all to build up his kingdom. It's all to give hope to the hopeless and to try to reach someone through this medium that people are abusing. Now, there are those that abuse social media and they are looking for likes and they are looking to be famous and they are looking for validation through social media. But let me tell you, I'm not one of those people, and I'm not going to make up something and tell you. I'm not going to try to find something to tell you to make you follow me. I'm only doing what God has called me to do, and I'm only saying what God has called me to say. I'm not trying to be someone that I'm not. I'm not trying to build up, build anything, get any members. I'm not auditioning for a church. I'm not doing any of that kind of stuff. The only thing I'm doing is what God is telling me to do through this medium that He has made available to us. Because I believe if Jesus was still walking the earth, He would probably be using social media to get some of His messages across. So I want to take a few minutes just to talk about that, my motives and my method for doing what I do. It's not. It has nothing to do with any kind of numbers or nothing to do with and no one has said this to me. Nobody has mentioned this to me or commented this to me. It's just something that I wanted to say because I wanted to show um, the purity in what I'm trying to do and what God has called me to do, and to let you know that there are no motives behind uh, what I'm doing compared to others who are doing the same thing. And trust me, if you're watching and you're looking at what I'm doing and you're doing some of the same things, I notice, I see, even if you don't like what I'm doing, I see what you're doing, and God bless you. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. I love you. All right. So tonight we're going to continue to talk about hope. We're going to continue to talk about hope. Tomorrow we'll go to a new section of the Advent, but tonight we're going to continue to talk about hope because a lot of our mental distresses and a lot of our mental collapses and a lot of the mental issues that we have and a lot of the mental breakdowns that we have comes and stems from the loss of hope. We've lost hope. We don't believe that we'll be able to do what God says we can do. And I hear you saying, well, some of us, we haven't heard God say anything, but that thing in the back of your head when you're doing what you love to do, that's God telling you, that's what I want you to do. And a lot of times we lose hope because we feel that that thing that we love to do, that thing that God has called us to do, is not working out for us. And we're in this and we're in that and we're suffering and we're in problems and we're in trials and tribulations and heartaches and pain and we're sick and we're tired and we hurt and people run over us and talk about us and do us badly and say bad things about us. All of these things happen to us. All of these things happen. And when they happen, We have a tendency as a people, as human beings, we have a tendency to believe that God is not in the process when those things happen. And there are some people that will tell you that you must be doing something wrong. And God is not in that. If it's not working out the way it should work out, God ain't in it. I'm not going to tell you that. Maybe they know something that I don't. But just because you're having a rough time and just because things are not lining up and working out for you exactly like you think they ought to, does not mean that God is not in it. And I'm going to show you why. God allows us to go through things. And we've been saying it all week. I've been saying it since the other day. Whatever God allows, God attends. Whatever he allows to happen in your life, he's there with you and he's there to help you through it. And all of these things that he allows and that he attends is to make us better. Our greatness is crushed out by these tight and testing and tempting times. That's when our greatness is really pushed out, is when we go through these times. Because what happens is we get to a place, and this is the best place in the world. Trust me. Trust this place that I'm about to explain to you is the best place in the world. And the best place in the world is I don't know what to do. I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't have the answers. That's a wonderful place to be. That's a wonderful place to be. I'm tired. I'm sick of this. That's a good place to be. Because what happens is when we've exhausted everything that we can do, when we've done all the stuff that we can do, that's when God steps in and does what he does. And when he does what he does, after he has finished doing what he does, we'll understand that it was nobody but him that could have done it. When God does what he does it so well that sometimes we don't even understand how it got done. But we know God did it. And we all ought to want to get to that spot to where I've done all the lifting I can. I've done all the preparation I can. I've done everything I can do. And now I don't know what else to do. Perfect. Excellent. Because that's where God steps in. And he does what you can't. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because whatever God allows, God attends. Wherever he takes you, he takes care of you. Wherever God leads you, he'll feed you. Wherever he brings your way and whatever he allows you to get in, he's going to preserve you to make it through it. Uncle Tim said it like this all the time. Wherever God brings you to, he'll bring you through. And I believe that. It's the same way of saying whatever God allows, God attends. And we have hope. And this is what I want you to grasp during this season, especially during this time before the big holiday, when we celebrate all of the gifts and all that. What I want you to really hone in on this year and for this season, this week, hope. Jesus came and he brought with him hope. Hope. And we still have that hope. We still have that hope today. Hold on to the hope that we have in Jesus Christ. We have hope. And we have hope because whatever God allows, God attends. Let's see. Let's look at Isaiah chapter 43, verse 2. One of the greatest verses in the Bible, I gotta tell you. One of the most exposing verses in the Bible of the majesty and the fathership of God. It says, when thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee. And through the rivers, they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. Isaiah 43. And in this same Isaiah 43, Isaiah talks about the new thing. And that new thing, of course, is Jesus Christ. But here, Isaiah is telling us that God is saying this. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you're going through this rough terrain and rough waters, and it feels like you're drowning, and it just feels like everything is just surrounding you, and you can't breathe, you can't think, you're flailing, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do. Feels like you're drowning. But Isaiah says that God says, even when you're going through that, I'm with you. That's hope. I have hope then, because we've talked about what happens when God is with you, what he brings with him. He has blessings already attached. Just his presence is blessings, because he can't deny himself. And he said, I am with you. Whatever you go through, that stuff that's drowning you, I'm with you. In other words, he's saying, you're going to go through the water, but I'm not going to let you drown. The water can come. They can come. You've been wet before, you're going to get wet again. But I promise you, I'm with you. And because I'm with you, you're not going to drown. The water won't win. That's what Isaiah is saying, that God is telling us. You're going to go through the waters, I'm with you. Through the rivers, they will not overflow thee. In other words, whatever you're going through, brothers and sisters, tonight, whatever you're going through, whatever hurt, whatever pain, whatever ailment, whatever illness, whatever situation, whatever tribulation, whatever trial, whatever hurt, whatever you're going through tonight, God says, I'm with you, and whatever you're going through, it won't win. It won't beat you, because I'm with you. He said the water, the rivers will not overflow thee. When you walking through the fire, and it feels like that, it feels like that. It feels like we're walking through fire. That's how hard our trials are sometimes. That's how difficult life can be. That's how it feels like we have to walk through fire. But God says, I'm with you. And yeah, you're going to have to walk through the fire. Yeah, you're going to walk through it. You're going to walk through it. And you won't get burned. No matter how hot the situation is, you won't get burned. No matter how much water there is, you won't drown. Not only will you not burn, but the fire won't even touch you. Neither shall the flame kindle upon thee. The fire won't even touch you, because I'm with you. Our situations are rough and they're tough, and it feels like that they're winning. It feels like that these situations are beating us. It feels like that these situations and the enemy is winning. But because God is with us, we can't lose. We won't drown. We won't burn up. The fire won't touch us. We will win because God is on our side. Now that's hope. That's hope, because God is with us. Whatever he allows, he attends. He's with us. He's walking with us. He's standing with us. He's there when all of these darts are being shot at us, when we have to walk through the fire, when we're being surrounded by water. God is with us. And because he's with us, we have hope because we know that we're going to win. We won't drown. We won't burn up. The fire won't even touch us because he's with us. That's our hope. That's our hope. Let's look at Matthew 20, section C. We talked about this already this week just for a little bit, but I want to talk a little bit more about it. And lo, this is Jesus talking. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the earth. Now, always is not a typo. That's the way it is in the King James Version. That's not a typo. That's the way it says. That's the way it's written. And I wondered why. You know, that kind of stuff always attracts my attention. Why always? Why not always? Because always isn't all through the Bible. This is really one of the only times I've seen always. And I didn't read this anywhere. I didn't study this. I didn't go to a linguistics book and try to figure this out. I haven't been to seminary, so I don't know exactly. But what I gather from the way that this is written is, no matter which way you go, I'm with you. No matter which way, no matter where you come from, no matter where you're going to, no matter what you're doing, no matter what God has placed in your path, whatever way it is, whatever way you have to go, however God made the way for you to go, I'm with you all of them ways. All of the ways that you have to go, I'm with you. Because none of us have the same problems. None of us have the same situations. Now, it may be similar, but none of them are the same. I often say this when people lose someone, because a lot of people say, well, I know how you feel because I lost a brother, I lost a sister, I lost a cousin. I know how that feels. Well, no, you don't know how I feel, because your cousin and my cousin, that's two different things. Your relationship and their relationship and my relationship with someone else, that's not the same. We're not going to even use that kind of vernacular. We're not going to have that kind of ministry. You don't feel like I feel. Your situation, that's you. Same way with the problems that we go through. All of us have been in a situation where we can't afford to pay something. Bills are due and things. We've all been in these kinds of situations, but they're not always the same. Everybody's situation is different. And we get into mental distress because we look at other people and try to gauge our lives by other people instead of worrying about ourselves and our way, because God is with us on our way, the way he sends you, not their way. Their way is different from your way. Jesus said, I'm with you no matter which way you have to go, no matter what you have to go through, no matter how long it takes you to get there. I'm with you. From now until you come to be with me, I'm with you. And that's how we have to look at life. Jesus will be with us until we are with him. That's hope. That's assurance. That's what you should hold on to, even when times get tough and rotten and things hurt and people hurt you and church hurts you and ministers hurt you and the job hurts you and life hurts you and the children hurt you. When you're sick, when you're hurting, when you're depressed, hold on to the fact that Jesus will be with you until you are with him. Jesus said, I'm with you. He was talking to the disciples, but he was talking to all of us. I'm with you always, even unto the end of the world. I got 5 minutes. So I'm going to go on to Hebrews 15. And we kind of talked about this too on one of our fresh revelation moments. And we're going to take the last 5 minutes and talk about Hebrews verse 5. Let your conversations be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he had said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. Look, don't waste your time talking about a bunch of stuff that you want and a bunch of stuff that you think you need. Don't waste time talking about what you don't have. Don't waste time talking about what other people have that you don't have and you feel slighted about it. A lot of our issues come in because we're looking at so many different people instead of looking at the way that God has set for us. Your way and their way is different. And the reason we get into so much mental distress is because we look at everybody else's way. And trust me, what's presented in somebody else's life, it may not even be that way. All we see is what they want us to see. They may be just as hurt as you. They may be just as broke as you. They may be in a worse position than you. They may be sicker than you. Stop looking at what everybody else has and what everybody else is doing and making your own self mentally distressed. Be content with where you are. Be content with what you have. Be content with what God has already blessed you with, and thank him for what you have. And when you thank him for what you have, he'll give you what you don't have. Don't worry about what everybody else have and what everybody else is doing and what everybody else, what your sister can give her kids, or what your brother can give his kids, or what your mama and daddy was able to give you that you can't give to your kids, or whatever. Don't worry about all of that stuff. Let your conversations be without covetousness. Be content with what you have and what you can do. Because this is the truth about the situation. No matter what you have, what you don't have, what they have, and what they don't have, or what you have that they don't have, the truth about the situation is the Lord says, God says, I'm with you. I'll never leave you. I'll never forsake you. And why is that so significant to be said right after covetousness and being content? Well, I can be content with what I have because God is with me and I know that he has everything. And because he has everything, I don't have to worry about anything. That's what hope is about. That's what this hope is all about. Because he has everything, I don't have to worry about anything. Don't worry about them and theirs and what they can do and what she can do. You have your own way. And because God is with you, you have everything. You have access to everything because everything belongs to God. Everything belongs to God. So you don't have to worry about what you don't have because God has everything. You don't have to worry about how you're going to do what God has told you to do because he's with you. That's our hope. That's our hope. God said, I'll never leave you. I won't forsake you. Not only would I not leave you, but I won't let nothing happen to you. Not only will I not leave you, but I will always provide for you. I will always give you what you need, and I always will give you some of the stuff that you want if it fits into my will. And we'll continue to talk about that on next week. But remember, we have hope because the Lord is with us. Gracious God, our Father, we come now. Thank you for your word. Thanking you for always being with us. And because you're with us, and because we're celebrating Advent, hope, believing and knowing and celebrating that you came and you brought hope with you. And now you're with us always, even unto the end of the world. You said you'd never leave us nor forsake us. When we go through the fire, you'll be there. When we go through the waters, you'll be there. And we won't drown. We won't burn up. Matter of fact, fire won't even touch us because you are with us. And we thank you for this hope that you give because you're with us. Now we ask that you would touch the hearts of everyone that listened tonight, everyone that heard your word tonight. We ask that you would touch their hearts. We ask that you would heal their bodies. We ask that you would heal their minds. We ask that you would touch them and let them know that even though they're going through, that you are with them. And no matter what they're going through, you will bring them out of it. We thank you for healing of the mind, healing of the body, healing of the soul, healing of relationships. We thank you for healing of fractured finances. We thank you for everything that you're going to do for us because we have that hope in you. And we remember that hope is expecting with confidence. We're confidently expecting you to do everything you said you would do because we have faith in you. And we thank you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Man, God bless you. I love you. I see you next week.